Want to see what I ate that helped me lose 7 pounds? I know you do. Let's go. Hey Killer Bees, it's Paula B, your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving in ways that feel like self-love. And you know what really feels like self-love to me? Eating the foods you already know and love in portions that make sense for your goals. You guys, a quick disclaimer here. I am not a nutritionist or a dietitian, and honestly, I am never gonna tell you what you should eat to lose weight, but I'm super happy to share with you the recipes that I enjoy. Make sure that you open up the description box for the link to go to my website and print out the recipes. Here in this video, I'm gonna show you pictures and tell you about the meals, but if you want ingredients and measurements and stuff, head over there. I've got 4 super simple and really delicious dinner ideas to share with you today. Are you ready? Here we go. Recipe number 1 is my all-time favorite comfort food in the whole wide world, cottage pie. You might know this dish as shepherd's pie, and honestly, I have no idea why my family calls it something different because they're essentially the same. It might be a regional thing. I mean, my father's father grew up in Liverpool, and cottage pie is what he taught my grandmother to make when he came over to the States. This one's super easy with just a few ingredients and the lazy way I make it, only 1 pot and 1 pan. It's a perfect, deliciously satisfying casserole of mashed potatoes, seasoned ground beef, and frozen peas and carrots. I start with the ground beef because that takes the longest to cook. I saute a small onion in a little bit of olive oil and then I add the ground beef. Now, I season the beef with garlic powder, black pepper, and cumin. Not everybody likes cumin, but I use it in nearly everything I cook, and you can use the seasonings that you like best. When that's crumbled and browned, I add the peas and carrots to warm them up. And while those are warming, I make the mashed potatoes. Now, of course, you are absolutely welcome to peel and boil the potatoes and cook them the slow way. But around here, I open up a package of instant potatoes and call it dinner. Now, traditional cottage pie or shepherd's pie has you layering the ingredients with the potatoes on top and then broiling it in the oven until it's crispy. But since that would require another pan and a longer cooking time, I simply pop the beef and veggies right into the mashed potato pot. I mix it up, I let it sit for a few minutes with the lid on to make sure everything is combined and heated through, and then I serve it right on up. I like ketchup on mine, and my husband eats his with barbecue sauce, and either way, it's yummy. Now, I know that some of you will look at this meal and think that's not low calorie enough for weight loss, and you might be right, or not. So let me tell you 2 quick reasons why I don't believe in eating low calorie meals while you're losing weight. Number 1, because you might actually be surprised at how many calories you need to be eating to lose weight. When you download my free ebook about weight loss over 50, there's a link in the description box. It includes the calculations you need to find the right number of calories for you to lose weight. It's different for all of us. Some of us don't need low calorie at all. And number 2, I truly believe that the fastest way to give up on losing weight is to eat foods that you don't really enjoy. Taking all the oils and creams and carbs out of your meal is honestly pretty likely to make you feel deprived and even unsatisfied. It's much easier and kinder to yourself to eat delicious foods that you already know and love in the right sized portions. For cottage pie, the easiest way to manipulate the calories either up or down is with the ground beef. When you buy 93 or 95% lean versus 75 or 80%, it'll save you hundreds of calories if you need to save them. And if you actually need to add more calories to make it fit your calorie target for the day, I suggest that you add more potatoes to the recipe because I love potatoes. Recipe number 2 is something that I made up a few years ago when I had very few ingredients in my pantry and no time to get to the grocery store before I needed dinner on the table. And you'll notice that I name my homemade meals the same way I name my exercises. Cheesy ricey nom noms are cheesy and ricey and nom-nom-licious. Like everything I make. This one's simple with just 1 pot and 1 pan, but it does take a little bit longer to prepare because it bakes in the oven for about 30 minutes. You'll start by making the steamed rice, and while that's cooking, you'll grate the cheese. These 2 ingredients are where the bulk of the calories are in this dish, so you can either make more of them or less, depending on how you need to fit them into your target for the day. Once the rice is cooked, you'll stir in the can of condensed cream of chicken soup, which, by the way, you could easily swap out cream of mushroom if you wanted to make this meal meatless. I just really don't like the taste of cream of mushroom soup. And then you put in the peas and carrots. For the beans, I really like to use S&W chili beans because it comes in a mildly spicy sauce that you don't rinse off like you do with regular beans. It makes the meal a little bit more creamy that way, but I've also made it with regular black beans and it's still really good. Either way, I usually add a little garlic powder, black pepper, and cumin, of course, because that's what I do. And then I spread the shredded cheese on top. Baking it in the oven gives it a nice crispy layer on top that I'm way too lazy to wait for with cottage pie, but feels completely necessary with cheesy ricey nom noms. Go figure. So good. Recipe number 3 is the most complicated of the 4 with the most dishes and the most cleanup, but somehow I still love to make this one because it is incredibly delicious and it kind of makes me feel like a fancy cook because it has a sauce. Teriyaki chicken bowls are in heavy rotation around here. I make them nearly once a week. I start by boiling the water for the rice at the same time that I start cooking the chicken thighs. And while those are cooking, I chop up the broccoli and start making the teriyaki sauce. The sauce and the rice are the 2 places where you can cut or add calories really easily with this dish. Personally, I like it super saucy. I literally make 4 times the amount of sauce that the original recipe called for. So that's where a lot of the calories are in my version of the recipe and all of the added sugar. So feel free to make less sauce or have a smaller portion of rice. If you need more calories to meet your target for the day, add an extra spoon or 2 of rice or sauce and it's a really easy add-on. When the chicken is cooked, I chop it up into bite-sized pieces and pour in the sauce to simmer. While the sauce is cooking, I start steaming the broccoli. I prefer the broccoli to be barely cooked, so this is the last thing I do. When the sauce is thickened, it's ready to serve. Personally, I think this one has the best leftovers. It's just as good the second day as it is the first. And then we go from the most complicated dish to the simplest. Recipe number 4 is something I have been making since my husband and I started dating, and I still love it, and him, today. Tortillas and beans. Although, to be honest, the word tortillas is a bit of a misnomer. These are actually really a lot more like tostadas, the way that I make them. And if you've never made homemade tortillas before, you are in for a treat. They are ridiculously easy to make and they're so good. You mix the masa with water. You portion out your tortillas, you smash them flat and you cook them. That's it. It takes 5 minutes. And while they're cooking, by the way, I just toast them in a nonstick pan. I don't use any butter or oils to fry them. You totally could. I never have, so I still don't. I open up a can of refried beans, I mix it with a can of corn, and I only use the corn because it adds a little sweetness and crunch. You could very easily not have it and the whole meal would still be delicious. And I warm those in the microwave for a couple of minutes, like 2 minutes. For toppings, I like grated cheddar cheese, cherry tomatoes, and avocados. I use a little bit of ketchup, some taco sauce, and some lime juice. There are so many ways that you could manipulate the calories on this one. I mean, for starters, you could make your tortillas the way they're supposed to be made. The amount of masa that I use to make 4 or 5 tortillas is actually supposed to make 19. Like I said, I really like them thick. It's much more like a tostada. So you could also change up your toppings, omitting the cheese or the avocado to save like at least 100 calories each. And of course, if you need more calories, you could simply add more toppings or make your tortilla slightly larger. And you guys, my favorite thing about tortillas and beans, the leftovers are super easy to turn into black bean burgers. And if you haven't seen my recipe for that super simple and very yummy meal, it's right in this video here. I'll see you over there.